Emergency. Batman speaking. Warning all of you to brace yourselves for big news.
The biggest.
Tell them, Robin.
Holy superlatives, Batman. It's really exciting. Soon, very soon, Batman and I will be batapulting right out of your TV sets and onto your theater screens.
That's right, Robin. Our first full-length motion picture feature in color opens a whole new world of thrills. Entire world.
And here are the dastardly villains. The Catwoman.
Oh, you're going to see the perfect crime when I get Batman in my claws.
The Joker.
Have you heard this one? It'll kill you, Batman.
The Penguin.
There are two eggs this wily bird is going to scramble. Batman and Robin.
The Riddler.
Question. Who's going to make the feathers fly and knock Batman and Robin out of the sky?
Brace yourself, Robin. This could be the end.
And that's just a sample of the exciting exploits ahead in our first feature motion picture.
Holy memoranda, folks. Make a note not to miss it.
Vicky Vale.
Bruce Wayne.
And what do you do for a living?
Lieutenant, is there a 6-foot bat in Gotham City?
Nice outfit.
Winged freak terrorizes. Wait till they get a load of me.
Welcome to the special Benny TV Batman episode with my very special co-host tonight, Jessica Colazzo, and Batman.
Hi, Benny.
Did you enjoy that clip that we showed of your movies and some of your what you look like in the comic books?
I loved it.
You look a little different today, Batman.
I put on some weight.
John said though.
But I'm not the first comedian to play Batman. Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton, yeah.
First comedian to play Batman, which as a comic I love that a comedian transitioned to a superhero role.
But
two superhero roles.
No,
and one supervillain. Technically, Birdman was sort of.
Who's Birdman?
Birdman was a movie that Michael Keaton made that he was actually nominated for Best Actor.
I didn't see that picture.
Okay.
I guess that doesn't really count as a superhero.
And he played the villain in the latest Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yes, the Vulture.
I didn't see that either. I'm a little behind on my Spider-Mans.
Oh.
There's been 9,000 of them.
Anyway.
Well, that was Marvel, so we're talking about DC.
Yeah, we're talking about
DC, right.
Batman Comics, which what we want to cover, and we have around an hour. What we want to, I had a very long introduction because I wanted to show a lot of Batman.
It was an awesome introduction.
Thank you.
It was
awesome.
Pretty cool.
All right, cool. Yeah, and there's two more if we can get to them. See, it's like I broke it up into three parts.
Look at you being all structured.
Well, we have to get to them. That didn't take. That took some effort. That editing. That was
Oh,
a lot
it
of effort.
did. It did because the next one goes into the animated series. But we don't want to jump ahead.
No,
we want to start with a character who, here's a book I have, which I recommend that you pick this up. It's called Batman, A Visual History. And I learned quite a bit about Batman.
How much did that cost? That looks very expensive.
Well, it was a Christmas gift to Ryan.
Oh, so you took it back.
I took it.
These guys publish a lot of different books. You see them at Barnes & Noble on the... Sometimes they're on the high-end rack, sometimes they're on the discount. You got to get lucky. But that looks expensive.
Well, if you go to Barnes & Noble around the holidays, they do a good deal with comic book characters now they have their own section in a bookstore.
Right. Yeah.
And there's comic book stores. What?
They better.
Yeah, definitely, and they're called graphic novels now.
Yes. Yes.
But this is not a graphic novel. But there are some Batman graphic novels I hope we can talk about after. But let's start with, there was Superman. There were comic strips, and then some people came up with the idea, why don't we put them together and make like a storybook? So they started with Detective Comics and World's Finest.
Oh, look at that.
By
On
DC.
the screen. Look at
And,
that.
And so there was Superman. So Bob Kane was offered to. Yeah, I know she's making that look.
Bob Kane.
Yeah, well, Bob Kane was offered to create his own character, and here we see here's the 4 different Batmans. That the one with the very sharp, high pointed ears, he's like the first. And another thing, what you can tell about the original Batman, and this is from the serial. This is a Batman from the serial. The original logo was just a bat. It was just a black bat on him.
Not the oval. Yeah.
That
he
was
had
it.
like a red suit, didn't he?
Yes, we have a picture with the red suit.
He
I
had
don't
a
know
red
if
suit and like a tiny mask, like
a
an eye
tiny
mask.
mask. Yes.
was the Batman?
This was Bob Kane's original.
What a loser, right?
Yeah. But you know, I'll tell you something about it. This guy looks very similar to the original Green Lantern, who was the original Green Lantern was not Hal Jordan. He was Alan somebody, and he looked very similar. Ryan will remember later. Ryan will be on in a while.
He actually kind of reminds me of Aquaman.
But that was Bob Kane.
Oh, yes, with the blonde hair.
That was Bob Kane's original concept of Batman. Okay. And then along came Bill Finger. Yes. And not only Bill Finger, there were some other writers who came in, got involved too, and wrote some stories. But Bill Finger is the one that said, no, he's a bat. So he told him to change the costume.
Yeah, so he created the cape, the cowl, the dark colored costume.
Right. The origin. He actually created the origin.
Now, why didn't they had a lot of gray in in dark blue and here and on the first suit? Why is it more like the black? If it's supposed to be a bat,
he's
like
the Dark Knight.
Right. He's the Dark Knight.
I like the black, the suit from. I like the suit in the first Batman, the Michael Keaton movie, with just a little hint of the yellow and the black.
They brought him back. Batman is 79 years old. And he's
old.
He's an old bastard, and he's went through. There's a lot of changes. There are some characters that they got rid of. There are some characters that they didn't work with. Alfred in the beginning. Well, I'll talk about Alfred in a minute. Let's just say that was a concept. Bill Finger created his origin, which is that his parents died, and he created that origin.
Classic Disney story.
Yeah, and he but that kind of stuff was considered legal at the time because the creators of Superman once they signed the check. On the back of their check, it said that they were giving up the rights to their character that they created.
Right.
And with Bill Finger was just a dude in Detective Comics in there, right. And he was a guy that was he was very prolific. He was constantly writing. He had a notebook with him, and he helped out with a lot of characters. So he was like the idea man. He was like the
he was the brains behind Batman.
He was the brains behind Batman, and Bob Kane was not the greatest artist either.
He was not the greatest person.
He didn't. What happened with
He's an asshole.
Yes, okay. And there's a documentary I've shown.
Why do you hate Bob Kane?
Because we'll talk. You want to find out why she hates?
I'm a little curious.
All right. There is a documentary that I've shown on Benny TV. I've shown the trailer twice. It's called Batman and Bill, and you can get it on Hulu, and it's excellent. You actually come away seeing that Bob Kane was like the man who you do this for him, you do that, and I think you only got paid from DC. You didn't get, and he didn't give any recognition.
He's an asshole.
Yes. So Bob Kane's name was on the Batman comics for years, like decades. No mention of Bill Finger, and it wasn't until like this guy who made this documentary started snooping around, and he brought it to light, and eventually he got his name on there.
And
I mean, he died penniless. This poor guy, Bill
And he was
Finger.
the actual creator.
He was the actual creator of not just
show business,
not just Batman. He
Yeah,
created
that's
Robin, and he created the Joker, Scarecrow.
Right.
He created most of the villains, and even in the trailer of Batman and Bill, you'll find that out. But I think it's 90 minutes. It's not a long documentary, and it's really good about this children's writer, this children's writer that got involved with Bill Finger and actually did something. And it's really, without any spoilers, it really is good how they finally, now on the first Batman versus Superman, Bill Finger got a credit.
Yes.
And
that was great to see.
He's getting some money now, but
well, he's dead, but
he's dead. But
there should be a superhero. I might actually create a superhero that goes after these bastards in the industry.
Oh, I like that.
That steal other people's ideas.
I like that.
Okay,
like some kind of vigilante. Maybe not a bat, because I'm a little heavy to be a bat. I could be like an owl man. You know?
there is an owl man.
There is?
Watchmen.
Yeah.
I
The Watchmen.
The Joker. Yeah, I did see that. And by the way, showing Dr. Manhattan's penis was a little.
I think that's what ruined it for
That
me.
ruined it for me.
Yeah.
And I'm a woman.
It just didn't. And
I know I'm dressed like a lesbian today,
It was
but
a flaccid penis, but even. It wasn't like it was even, a penis to
like
make
he's
a big
on Mars.
deal
He's got
about.
his penis hanging out. What the hell?
Yeah. And what's so funny is I saw that with Ryan in the theaters, and we really loved it.
So uncomfortable.
And I think when you saw the penis, you heard everybody in the audience just like, why did they? You didn't have to show.
Come on.
And I'm glad you brought up the Watchmen
But he's
because
a doctor.
now, and Ryan will come later. Ryan has better information, knows more. They have brought Watchmen back as a comic book series.
Nice.
And Batman is so they've brought
I
in.
heard there was some crossover there.
They've crossed over, because that's a DC property, the Watchmen.
Right.
So they crossed over, and the first issue Ryan had, I saw it. First issue is Batman picks up the smiley face with the blood.
With the comedian. Yeah.
With the comedians. Yeah. And so they're all in it. I don't know how they're doing it, but Dr. Manhattan Dr. Manhattan deserves to be a comic book character.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
with underwear on.
Well, what I
with
liked,
underwear, something,
Before that movie came out, I used to do a joke where I used to say I went to rent the Batman costume for Halloween, and they said, "I'm sorry, we don't have any Batman costumes. How about Owlman?" And I said, "Who?" And they said, "You're perfect." So,
all right.
Oh my God.
Okay.
It's
So
stupid.
anyway,
It's stupid.
So anyway, that's what
I should
happened
punch
was
you for that.
Bill Finger, but there were a few other artists,
such a
a
hack.
few other writers
No,
involved.
I loved it.
And you come away with Bob Kane used to do shows where he would sell his artwork, which were the really good Batman, really nice pictures of him, and you found out he didn't make those. He commissioned people. He commissioned people to do that, and he took all the credit. And people said it would be like me. But you know what? I'm glad finally Bill Finger is getting a compensation for it. His estate, not estate, but there are people, without giving away, there are people getting something, and there's recognition now that Bill Finger has created Batman. And there are a lot of misconceptions. Like Batman, the one thing about Batman is that everybody can relate to him. He's like known worldwide.
Yeah, I'm a playboy billionaire with lots of toys and cars and stuff.
Yeah, why do people? What is it like? It's without gender. It's without race. People just.
I mean, his appeal.
His appeal his appeal is to everybody. Everybody
He is
just digs
a rich
Batman.
white guy, though.
Right.
And there's a
Who doesn't pay his
misconception
fair
with
share of
Robin.
tax.
So we have a picture that's going to come up in a minute. There's a lot of people when the first Michael Keaton Batman came out. People didn't read the comics. A lot of people were associated Batman with the TV show, which was campy. It was a fun show. It's still around.
Adam West.
And people
He was the
still love
best.
it. Yeah, it was a great show. But a lot of people, when they saw the Michael Keaton Batman, they were like, well, we heard Robin died in the comics, so that's why Robin's not in it. No, Robin grew up, and this picture you're looking at right now,
That's Nightwing.
that's, yeah.
Yeah.
She's good.
That's Dick
So-
Grayson.
Yes, Dick Grayson was the first Robin. I have the Robin trivia here.
The Robin trivia.
So
He was an orphan. His parents died in a circus accident, and Bruce Wayne adopted him, and he became Robin.
right.
And then later on, like you said, he grew up. He kind of did his own thing, became Nightwing, and now he's like not really fighting with
He
Batman.
left Batman?
He left Batman, yeah.
Never leave. It's like David Caruso when he left NYPD Blue. You never, you
No,
gotta
no,
stick
but-
with a winner.
And
But
he also was Batman for a little while.
Yes, when Batman.
Oh, I love when
when
old
his back was
Alfred-
broken.
Yes.
Yes.
When old Alfred used to dress up as Batman in the TV show.
In the TV
I'm
show.
like,
I-
seriously?
Did you see
that's
Lego
hilarious.
Batman? I know it's like
I didn't see
blasphemy
it, no.
to bring it up in here, but Lego Batman was awesome because it threw a lot of references to a lot of things.
No, I
In
know it's
Lego?
awesome. And
Yeah,
Lego?
Lego Batman. Yeah.
They said that it was well put together.
It really was.
Yeah,
I know
Ryan-
it's a kids movie, but
Ryan
it was,
urges me to see it.
You
Ryan
really have to
I
watch
should
it.
see it.
You really have.
And,
It's great.
Okay, so here was a Robin from The Dark Knight Returns. The Dark Knight Returns was Batman had retired, disappeared.
So is this Jason
then-
Todd? Is this the
This
second
is not
one?
Jason Todd. This is the
This
one
is,
from the Bat. This is
Tim Drake.
This is Carrie Kelly. Do you have Carrie Kelly?
Oh, that's a woman?
That's a girl.
Oh no, I don't have. Okay, so this is bad. I only have the male Robins. I don't have any of the
There was a
female
female
Robins.
Robin?
No, you know
There
what?
were-
know that.
There were
You
a
know-
couple of them.
Yeah, there's
Wow.
a couple
But
of
I
them.
didn't put 'em on my
There's
list
another
'cause
one
I'm an
before
asshole.
her. I don't remember who that was. So someone who who had to fill in for Robin. But this was this is Nightwing is grown. Nightwing left the nest, and Jason Todd was the second one.
Yes.
And we're gonna Jason Todd got killed by the Joker. Did you know any of this?
Do you know
Nope.
why?
What?
Do you know why he was killed?
Yes.
Because the fans hated him.
Who?
The fans of the comic books
Hated Robin?
hated Jason Todd
Jason Todd
so
Robin.
much that they
See-
like DC put it up to a vote. They're like, should we kill him? Should we keep him? And like 75% of the fans were like, kill him. He sucks. So the Joker ended up killing him. And do you know the whole story? Do you
Yeah, I
wanna
read
tell it?
the. I read.
Okay, you go.
I read the funeral for a friend. Is Death in the Family.
Death in the Family.
Death in the
yes,
Family.
That's right.
And you actually see Batman holding dead Robin, and
Wow, that's
there is an
sad.
introduction
brutal.
in Death in the Family, which you can still get in the bookstores or in I would go to the bookstores because comic book stores tend to inflate the prices, make you think it's a collectible now. But you can get.
Okay, see, that's where I disagree with you. I say go to the comic book stores and support the comic book stores.
I will support them, but I will support them on like current. I won't go there for an
Yes.
old comic book.
Right.
If you go there for an old comic book, they're going to inflate the price.
Yeah, you get screwed.
So if you go, because you can still get a printing of Death in the Family, and you
Right.
can still buy it. And if you go to the comic book store, I just have a feeling that it's going to be a lot more money.
I have so
than
many
it
old
would be
comic
in
books.
books.
There's also. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah. Well,
There's also comicspriceguide.com. I've been
Okay.
going through that because I have, for our wedding present, somebody gave us a big long box
oh, cool.
full of comics. So I've been logging them and seeing how much they're worth. All the ones that are worth anything are ripped to shreds. So
Oh, how does
I
that
have Detective
happen?
Comics number 1 and 2. Are those worth anything?
you should check it out. Go on
Yeah,
comicspriceguide.com.
Detective Comics 1
1
and
and
2.
2, yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, they're in mint condition.
From what year?
It might be worth
They're
something.
like old. They're like from the 30s. So I don't know if they're worth anything.
Yes, they're worth a lot
I'm
of
kidding.
money.
That's-
They just wanted to
Yeah, I
see
have
me get
Detective
excited.
Comics number 1. How much is this for? It's worth like $25,000.
We have a picture later of Batman's first issue, which was in 1939, which I think was
Yep,
Detective
39,
Comics number 27, and we'll show that later.
All right, so Batman was 39. When was Superman? The original Superman was.
He was earlier.
Than that, right?
Yeah, a few years earlier. I'm not sure.
Was it still in the 30s? It was 32, I think.
Maybe 32.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
So-
what I'm saying about that website, though, is if you're looking for old comics, check it out because you could buy used ones on there. They won't be mint condition. Some of them will.
I have
Yeah,
comics
no,
that
no.
I bought the 80s that I wrapped in plastic.
Yeah,
The
dude, I'm telling
UV
you.
protection. So
Yes.
they're all in mint condition. I have no clue what they're worth.
I've bought
I
some.
will come over and I will find out for you.
I've bought some on eBay too, and I got
Yeah,
good deals
eBay's
on
good
eBay
too.
for stuff because I like. My favorite Batman is if you came to my house, you would say Batman is definitely your favorite because I've got Batman. Our cats.
He's obsessed.
Our cats. We have 2 cats, brother and sister.
Tell me they're Batman and Robin.
They're Batman and Robin.
Cute. You know I love cats.
I know you do.
I love Batman, but my favorite superhero of all superheroes, Marvel or DC, is Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah. I love her.
But you don't read the comics or anything.
I like the movie a lot.
He looks at the pictures.
See, there are different kinds
hubba.
She wouldn't need that lasso of truth with me. I tell you,
I'll
look
show
fantastic.
you a picture later. I've got an artist rendition of Linda Carter. Oh my God, you'll go crazy when you see
I was against. They had a thing where they had a new costume for Wonder Woman because it was like a non-sexist version, and it was like a jumpsuit. I'm like, no, that costume
is she in prison?
No, it was like a flight suity.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman has had that outfit since the 40s.
She's an Amazon.
She's an Amazon.
She's
That's
empowered.
how they dress. You can't use a Manhattan standard
That's
for
her
the
armor.
Amazons.
That's her freaking armor.
And it distracts the bad guys.
That's true.
It's a tactical advantage. They look at Wonder Woman, they lose, and she knocks them out.
Look at
but
these.
there's a reason.
But you see, he's a fan. You're the type of fan.
I'm a fan's fan.
But you're a movie fan. You're a movie and television. So you don't read the comics.
I used to, but once I saw the movie,
know the comic book character.
I know of them mostly from the animated series. I have read some here and there, but I haven't read as much as you. The most comic I've read is I just finished Infinity Gauntlet, which is Marvel.
Oh, okay.
So the reason why I like the movie, I used to read the comic books as a kid.
Right.
But then I became like Rodney Dangerfield and back to school. I'm in and out in 2 hours. And they have the music and the effect. Like the music is a big thing. Not even so much the effects.
Right.
Like the Batman music is
just
amazing.
to see it in action is awesome.
All right. Anyway, we're gonna go to part 2 of that video, and then I think we'll be joined by Ryan.
Yay!
Awesome. Okay.
Come on, Ryan.
All right. And we're gonna.
Does it depress you to know just how alone you really are?
What are you seeking? I seek the means to fight injustice, to turn fear against those who prey on the fearful. To conquer fear, you must become fear. To manipulate the fears in others, you must first master your own. Are you ready to begin?
What the hell are you?
I'm Batman.
You are in for a show tonight, son.
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Not yet.
Did they kill him?
I'm not sure. You've given them everything.
Not everything.
That's yeah.
The Batman.
And we're back.
We're back.
It's my show now.
Look at the hat. It's the hat and the shirt.
I'm all Batmaned out.
I got nothing. I got no Batman
You gotta
nothing.
wear
I
the
only have.
mask.
You got the mask.
You can talk, Greg.
I took Benny's shirt, so.
You can talk regular.
She's got my
she
shirt.
also didn't have a Batman shirt.
This shirt has little bats, if you can notice. You can't really notice on TV, but they're a little bat logo. But
Well, this shirt that I've had since I was like 15, and I'm
What-
amazed I
Nice.
still
Still
have
fits?
it.
And what a great
I had
Batman.
the shirt
You
for like
can't
over
even
10
find
years.
That's a really good shirt.
You know what?
Yeah, it's a solid
I played Batman when I was 6 years old in the school play, and my mother remember we were talking about the oval, the bat oval with the black.
Yeah.
She instead of buying me a black sweatshirt with the oval and the black bat, she bought me a bright yellow sweatshirt. Why would they make such? I felt like an asshole because it wasn't the right costume. It wasn't the right one.
Mom.
All right.
That's funny.
But why would they make a yellow one? Make it black, like yours.
I agree with you.
This is the old.
I have a red one too. I didn't know where it was. It's an issue where Batman's going into his rogues gallery, and it's a red shirt, and it says the Batman on it.
Why would it be red?
I don't know.
That's like when they have a hat, like you see like a red hat, a Yankee hat, a Met hat.
Oh yeah, they do all the colors.
Oh, that bothers me.
That bothers me.
They do all the colors.
I like the gray.
All the colors
I
of the
bought-
rainbow.
we have gray ones.
There
Yeah,
was
but
a-
the old
there was a
Yankee
rainbow
hat was kind
Batman.
of gray.
Did you see that video I sent you? There was a rainbow Batman.
Well,
Yeah, I
there's
saw some-
Was it like a
thousands of
Pride Batman?
That's what I was thinking, but no. It
There's
wasn't.
there's like thousands of Batman. Now,
All right, now go ahead.
Okay.
There's gonna be another death in the family soon.
That's what it feels like.
He'll be holding the dead Robin and the.
Dad, why?
So, in the beginning of the show, the two things that I wanted to talk about that you guys talked about before was one was the comic book shop over. You definitely should support your local comic shop over. Yes, you should support Barnes & Noble too, because they're going to go out of business soon also. But they're next, it's Toys R Us, then Barnes & Noble. But no, you should definitely support your local comic shop. They'll give you, they have the graphic novels there too, Dad.
Yeah, but
they
are the
also
graphic-
have the
are
graphic
the
novels.
prices inflated?
Yeah, the prices are exactly the same. They're
Oh,
not
all
going
right.
to try to screw you over.
The
I don't
cover
know-
price, like the
I
publisher
don't know what
price?
guys you were going to.
And
They're going
you-
to give you the book price, or they'll give you a discounted price. If you're a member and you go there regularly, they'll give you a discount. Like I get a discount at my
That's
local
mine.
shop because
That's
I go
yours.
there as often as I do.
Oh.
So you get the
Oh, it's
nerd
empty.
discount?
I was going with vodka.
You get all
I
right.
get the nerd discount. Yeah.
Nice,
Okay.
nice.
These
All
are
right,
so cool.
and no, I frequented comic book stores. I still do, and you can find more. You can find actually like the figurines. You can get the
yeah.
They make some really nice stuff.
They have amazing figurines there.
Yeah.
And then also Comic-Con, which is the mecca of
Are you
comic
going?
books. Oh yeah, I go every year.
Did they
I'm
have a
gonna
Wonder
try to
Woman
go this
figurine?
year. I've
Yeah,
never
I go
been.
every year.
Did they have a Wonder Woman figurine?
Yeah. Oh, they have
Oh, I
dozens.
have one. I should have brought
Dozens
it.
upon
I
dozens
have
of Wonder
two.
Woman.
How big are
figurines.
they?
Anywhere from here to the size of the studio.
I have two Batman figurines and a Wonder Woman, and one of the Batmans lost his arm because my cat knocked it over. But
I took a picture with Gal Gadot.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Well, full disclosure, there was a
don't want to
cardboard
borrow.
cutout at one of the comedy shows. I took a picture. So I
then
said,
so did
I said,
I.
look who came to my show. And somebody said, John, that's a cardboard cutout. I said, oh really? I said, I dropped the War for Republic. Here's her invisible jet in front of the hangar, and I just had the hangar. I'm like, I suppose that's fake too, asshole.
All right. So now, you wanted to discuss the Robins, right?
I wanted to discuss the Robins.
yeah, let me get my phone out so I don't
So
mess
you-
this up.
so you-
This is all fascinating to me, the Robin thing, because I only know the Dick Grayson Robin.
And a lot of
Yes.
people who go to the movies do not know.
That's it. That's all I know.
And there was actually a Batman-ish movie that came out this week, but we'll talk about that
What
in a
movie?
second. It was the Teen Titans Go,
Oh,
which
yeah, that came
is
out this
Robin,
week.
and I believe it's Dick Grayson Robin in that specific. But the
But
photo
that
we
one
have
was
up,
kinda dark.
which is now
Oh,
gone.
wait, I'm thinking of something else.
But back to what we were saying, Teen Titans Go. Yeah, that came out. I'm not a big fan of Teen Titans Go. I'm a big
cute.
fan of the Teen Titans original animated show that was around when I was younger.
Yeah.
Because that's a really good show. It has good characters. It has good story. They literally took that same show with like some of the same people behind it, along with like some of the voice cast, I think. And it's essentially a clone of that show, but done in a very different animation style and done to be like just comedic skits almost. And then the movie, I haven't seen it, but is like a parody of superhero movies. And it's about how everyone's gotten their own movie except for Robin. And like one of the jokes in the movie is they show like an R and they're like, this Batman character finally gets his own movie, and it's the R in Alfred. And it's Alfred's getting his own movie. And it's the car gets his own movie, and everyone gets a movie. Except for Robin.
Well, look how long it took Wonder Woman to get her own movie. A long time.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I read that there is a Nightwing movie in the works.
There's been a Nightwing movie in the works for a while. There was talks of it after Dark Knight Rises to do a Nightwing movie with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Right.
Which obviously never came to fruition.
Yeah.
And there's
too
talks
bad
of
for
it
him.
now. But who knows if it'll actually happen, especially with like the flux of the DC movies.
Well, now you got the Justice League, so I think you put the old Dick Grayson Robin into the Justice League.
You could. There's a lot of things you could do.
That's what everybody knows anyway.
But
That's
you
the
can't.
story.
You
Why?
can't. I'll tell you what.
Wasn't he? Was he in the Justice League?
In the universe of Batman vs Superman, it's supposed to be
The
post Tim
universe.
Drake Robin. Because in Batman vs.
so
Superman,
upset.
they show the Robin suit that was supposedly the Joker killed him.
Right.
It says, ha ha
Yes,
ha, Batman.
When did they show that?
At one point before, I think he goes to I think it's before the dinner scene, where him and Superman meet for the first time. He just angrily looks at this like, he has it up in the Batcave. Like he just like a reminder, like a reverse
Like a tribute,
That was
right,
such
yeah.
Like
a
a tribute.
tease too, because it's like, oh.
Well, what annoys me the most is you've had literally 3 movies to establish at all what that means.
Wait, but that's
and they haven't.
they only showed maybe he went on vacation and comes back.
No, because
No, it's Robin's suit
They
and there's
went on a
spray
cruise,
paint on, like
that's why
ha
he's
ha ha,
laughing.
Batman, like supposedly like Joker
Oh.
killed him and like did that to his suit.
I don't like
yeah,
that.
but you see,
that-
all right.
I don't
what
like that.
What I mentioned before, there was The Dark Knight Returns.
Right.
It's a graphic novel.
Right.
Okay, and what The Dark Knight Returns is about, Batman is a regular man, and he retired. No one saw him for 10 years, and then he came out of retirement because the crime got so bad.
Right.
And
Well, that's what happens. You
and
gotta
he
have
didn't want any partners because Jason died. And there is a panel very similar to the movie where he has Jason's costume in a glass case. And that girl we saw before, Robin,
Yeah.
she's a girl that Batman saved her in the
Yes.
Batman saved her, and then she decided she was going to be Robin.
She's gonna
And she
become
dressed-
Robin.
Now, what about the
She
Batgirl?
became-
When does she come back?
I
used to love the TV show when that motorcycle went by. It's a Batgirl episode.
But they brought Batgirl in.
She was hot,
They brought Batgirl in. They were hoping the ratings went down in the 3rd season, so they brought
That's why they
Batgirl
brought in
in.
Batgirl.
That's why they put her in.
Good idea.
Yeah.
But there was less for the other
You
the
know
other
the lady.
characters.
She had that
now-
makeup mirror with that snazzy 60s music and the thing. I love that.
Now
need
Batgirl
one of
isn't the
those.
only female Batman character, so now they can do more. There's talk in the CW DC universe, was like Green Arrow, Flash, Supergirl.
Ugh,
They're gonna
I
bring.
hate it. Do you like it?
They're good. I don't know why you have to be all about it. All right.
Yeah, the Flash
I'm
was in
defending you
the Fla-
before.
The Flash
And
was
now-
an add-on, right?
Well, it started with Green Arrow, and in the 2nd season, they introduced Barry Allen coming from Central City, and he finds out about the Arrow, and they become friends, and then he gets struck by lightning. So it's supposed to be he actually met Green Arrow before he became the Flash.
Who was in the original? Because I don't remember. Who was
Taking
in
notes.
the?
There's a test later.
This is important. No, because this is
You know
important.
why? Because I told him to research, and I told him, and he came here like the student that's going to cheat off everybody.
Yeah, look at him.
He doesn't. He's like, well, what? I don't
You're
like
being a
what
real
happened.
Bob Kane right now.
Yeah,
Being
you're
a
being
real
a real Bob Kane.
Being a real.
Well, no, I'm trying to learn from
That's
people that
good.
know that are a little more astute on some of the
All
other
right,
parts.
But back to what I was saying before
To the CW.
Jessica interrupted me about the CW.
I do like Supergirl though.
That's the worst one.
I knew you were gonna say that.
All right, who was in the original Justice League in the comic that was on Saturday mornings when I was little.
But that's a TV show.
That was
Right.
Super Friends.
That was Super Friends. Right.
That was Batman, Superman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and the Wonder Twins.
Right.
Wonder Twins.
Wonder
One of
Woman
them turned into a form, the other one could turn into a shape.
and the Wonder Twins.
So
that was the
dumb.
original Justice League.
So
Well, that was
dumb.
the Super Friends. That wasn't the original Justice League. That
The
was
Wonder
the original
Twins?
animated incarnation.
Right. I want them to make a movie with those people.
They're never doing the Wonder Twins. They did it on an episode of Smallville. There's an episode of
Oh,
Smallville
really?
with the Wonder Twins.
Did you know there was an Aquaman TV show?
Yes.
It
Yes.
With the guy who played Green Arrow
Yes.
on Smallville.
Live action.
Yes.
Justin
It was-
Hartley,
That's
who's
right.
now on This Is Us.
All right.
Oh, live.
You.
Live. Oh,
I went to
go
film
ahead.
school.
He's a
Now,
film
why
television.
is the Aquaman this Nordic guy in the movie, the Justice League? Why isn't he a blonde guy with the green pants and the?
Because in the comics, I
Short hair.
believe it was in the 90s, and I know Jeff Johns' run on the comics added to this too. They took it from being what everyone sees as him being kind of like, you know, he's a loser, he sucks, he just talks to fish, he doesn't do anything, you know, boo Aquaman, and they made him into this almost like tribal warrior. And
I
there's
like
at
him
one
like
point
that.
in the 90s he lost a hand, he had like
Yes,
a metal
he had a
hook.
Yeah.
And they turned him into having he had long blonde hair, and a big beard. And now for Jason Momoa, they just made it dark, which I'm fine with because it's just hair color. That's not really that big of a deal to me. But I think that is a more interesting character.
Me too.
And the way that they have the character, it's a stronger character. And it's a character you really get behind more because it's somebody who feels like he's fighting for stuff, and he feels like he has power, and he's somebody fighting to be the king. And it's more of him being like the king of this ancient society, which is it's very similar to Black Panther, and the trailer for the new one is very similar to Black Panther, where it's a tribal society, but it's also much more advanced than we are at the same time. So that's kind of the line they're going through with that.
I don't know how I feel about the redhead though. She looks like Ariel.
Well, that's in the comics. That is his Queen Mara, and her big characteristic is she has really bright red hair.
Yeah. Queen.
I think it comes off a little too bright.
Right.
It comes off a little too much.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they could change that in post-production. We'll
Isn't
see.
it neat?
But they should have a Hall of Justice. They should have that.
Well, I think they kind of queued that up in Justice League in the end.
At the end with the
Yeah.
at the
Go
Wayne
ahead.
Manor.
You've been trying to say.
Sorry,
something.
Ben. It's
Go
his
on.
show too. We should.
Yeah, just let me
It's my
in.
show, damn it.
This is it's Bob Kane TV. You're watching Bob Kane TV. No, I remember when that went down with the Aquaman because I used to go to this science fiction convention in Stony Brook, and comic book writers, a lot of comic book people were there. Peter David,
Oh, Icon?
the Icon, Stony Brook
Yeah,
Icon.
yeah.
Peter David was a writer who he's the one that took the Hulk out of me Hulk, me mad, me smash, and gave him substance. So then he went over to DC, and he took on Aquaman, and he's the one that cut his hand off. He did all that.
The Hulk?
Aquaman.
He
I mean,
went
he
to
did the
Aqu-
Hulk
he did-
first,
he did
and
the
then
Hulk.
he went from the Hulk to Aquaman.
He went from Marvel. Pay attention, right? What are you writing in these friggin' notes?
He's confused. He thinks you meant the
No.
Hulk ripped his arm off.
No.
And then
He was writing for Marvel.
I was confused for a second,
and he
too.
took the Hulk.
Oh, the writer. I'm thinking
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the Hulk.
Yeah, do you
went-
want me to start
it took
talking
me a
again?
second too.
Yeah, you should talk. I'm
want
just
me to
gonna
talk
sit here. I'll
again?
drop a Bane voice in at the
We
right
have some
time.
photos. Let's go to this photo. We have a photo of Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn in a film that most people don't like.
I
Did
didn't
you
like
like it?
and I had no idea it was anything to do with Batman.
Did you like
He
it?
was in it.
Yeah.
I liked it the first time I saw it, and I feel like the more you watch it, the less you enjoy it.
I have the opposite problem. Like, I didn't like it at all when I first watched it, but then I'll watch it again and I'll be like, it wasn't that bad.
I think the best part of the movie is her.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I'm not saying
absolutely.
because
I
of
say
the looks,
she
I'm
is,
saying
and
that-
then I would say Will Smith, even though he's
Yeah.
completely different from the Deadshot in the comics.
Yeah.
I really like him in the movie, and it made me want like a Deadshot solo movie, which is not something anyone ever wanted. So that
He
was
was
kind of
badass
amazing
in
to me.
that. I liked it.
And then there's Jared Leto's Joker.
which
I
I
wasn't
don't
crazy
like.
about
I
that.
don't like that. He's
I partially liked it because I like he was like the clown prince of crime, so I like that aspect. But he's definitely the weakest out of every on-screen
Yeah.
Joker that we've.
Not
That's what. Yeah, that incarnation is the clown prince of crime.
We have a picture of the account. Oh, we had it. It went away. We had the Academy Award-winning Joker.
The Heath Ledger Joker?
Yeah.
See, I know
all right.
things.
Well, let's show that picture. There's the Academy Award-winning, which I
Ledger's
didn't
Joker.
like when I saw the trailer.
Yeah, he didn't even want to go see it. He didn't even want to see it in theaters. He's like, I don't see a point. I don't see a point in it.
Because
Yeah, I felt weird about it too, but then I watched it.
No,
and
it was
I
before.
like,
This was before he died. This was
yeah,
when the
yeah,
first
yeah.
trailer came out before he died.
And because I said he doesn't look like a guy that fell into a vat of acid. His hair,
Right.
it looks like he put the coloring in his hair. He put some makeup on his face, and he cut his lips are cut. His mouth is cut.
Right.
But what they still captured the essence of the Joker.
Yes.
Which the Joker is a person that Batman does not know his name. He doesn't know anything about
That's
him.
what I love the most about him. Nobody knows his origin. There's one,
Until
the Killing Joke.
The Killing Joke.
There's one thing that kind of alludes to it, but I don't know.
No, that's
And
that's his origin.
That's his. It's Alan Moore's interpretation of an origin of the Joker, but
Yes.
there's been times where they've changed it so many times,
They
and
have,
it's supposed to be. They kind of go.
It's
I
still a
like with
mystery,
the Dark
though.
Knight, the Dark Knights thing of his origin of. He doesn't even know what his origin is anymore.
Right.
He doesn't know where he comes from.
All right, but in the original, in the early Batman comics of the 40s, he did find out he was eluded by. Batman tells Robin there was a one person I could never capture back when I was solo, the Red Hood thief.
Yeah.
And then he finds out at the end that the Joker was the Red Hood.
Right.
So, and then Alan Moore did the Killing Joke, which is really cool. That
Yeah.
and they made an animated movie.
Mm-hmm.
You saw the animated movie?
Yeah.
The Batgirl stuff in the beginning.
You know what's
is
funny?
always-
We could do our own animated Batman.
Right.
There's so many. I did Jack Palance before Batman, who was in the first Batman, Carl Grissom.
Right.
Then I do Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine. I could do Bane now. We could have our own Batman.
And we
Do-
do.
do a
You do the
couple.
president. We do everything.
We do everything.
Oh, and Michael Caine. You do a great Michael Caine as Alfred.
I won't bury another member of the Wayne family, Master Bruce. I want you spend too much time in that dreadful cave. With a couple of toys you got from Fox. But that Morgan Freeman line when the guy tries to blackmail him.
Oh, you didn't
And
get
he's-
the memo?
And he said, your boss is one of the richest, most powerful men in the world, who spends
Oh,
his
the other
nights
one, that's
beating vigilantes to a pulp with his bare hands, and your plan is to blackmail this person?
I was
Good
thinking
luck.
of Batman Begins, where
Oh,
Rutger
the-
Hauer and fires him. And he's like,
Oh,
you
yes.
didn't get the memo.
You didn't get the
And then
memo.
they fire Rutger Hauer, and he says to him, "Oh, you didn't get the memo."
That was great, yes.
They did. I wasn't a big fan in the beginning of the Batman Begins either.
Yeah, you didn't like when we first
And I'm
saw
a
it. You
big
had a
fan
lot of
Batman.
issues with it.
I had issues with it.
The first one?
The first
Yeah.
Batman Begins
Okay.
that we saw the trailer. I had issues with.
Christian Bale.
Yeah, the first Christian Bale one. My dad didn't like it first.
I didn't like it. I liked Batman.
And now
I
it's
liked-
his favorite Batman movies ever.
Yeah. Oh, the trilogy's great, but I didn't like the fact that Commissioner Gordon actually drove his. It wasn't a Batmobile. It was some vehicle.
Oh, the way, yeah.
But actually,
It was the
Commissioner
Batmobile,
Gordon
but-
drives it and
Yeah.
does
Right,
some
right.
stunts with
I
it.
like that though.
Yeah.
I like that because Commissioner Gordon is a hero too in his own right.
That's
Like
true.
he's done a lot of great stuff, and in the other series and everything else, he's just a side guy who pops up on a screen and tells Batman what his next mission is.
Right.
And he doesn't have any sort of character of anything of substance. And that was the big thing they changed in that trilogy was they cast Gary Oldman and they gave him a real storyline.
Right.
And he has an arc throughout those 3 films, and you care about his character a lot. And his character, he's probably the second biggest character. It's Batman, and then it's him, and then it's Michael Caine as Alfred.
Yeah.
Right.
The Michael Caine Alfred is just amazing. too.
Alfred is supposed to be kind of badass, though, isn't he?
He is badass.
He does. He tells that story in the second
Yeah.
where he
My
was.
friends and I were in Burma.
Yeah, tell the story.
I don't remember the exact lines. He goes,
Some men just want to.
he goes, and then I saw, he goes, we were hired by the local government to stop some pirates that were hijacking shipment. And then I saw a child playing with a ruby the size of a tangerine. He just gave them away. It was good sport. He just didn't want us to.
And
Some men
what
want
is
to
it?
watch the world burn.
Right.
Some men just want to watch the world
Perhaps,
burn.
and the bulb turned to a man that they didn't fully understand.
And doesn't he sew them up? He sews them up in this one because
Yes.
that was what Alfred's function became that. But if you get this book, this book right here, it'll
Which we should have like a contest to win one or something.
Yeah,
Not
right.
that one.
Not that one.
Anyway, the original, I was telling Ryan, I was reading it last night. The original Alfred for this Bruce Wayne already had Burt Ward. He had not Burt Ward. He had Burt Ward played the.
Yeah, he already had Burt Ward.
He had Dick Grayson.
Dick
That
Grayson.
guy, he
And
sucked.
this guy Alfred comes, and Alfred was a bumbling moron in the 40s. He was a bumbling idiot kind of guy who wanted to do one of those people that, as much as he tried to do the right thing, he goofed up. And his father, the reason he wanted to do this, he owed a great debt to the Wayne family because his father was Bruce Wayne's dad's butler when Bruce Wayne grew up in the comic book.
Keep it in
and
the
his
family, I
name
guess.
was Jarvis.
Oh.
His name was Jarvis.
Which
Jarvis Pennyworth.
Jarvis in the Iron Man films
Yes.
is his.
Oh, right.
Jarvis is AI, which then becomes the Vision. But in the comics, Jarvis was Tony Stark's butler.
Interesting.
So they definitely took that
from that.
the fact that Alfred had a father named Jarvis.
And Alfred wasn't working out too well, the character, and then they changed
Made
him
him
up.
kinda
They made him
cool.
up, and the television and movies had an influence on the comics.
Right.
Because that first the serial that we saw, that actually influenced them for Alfred to make a better Alfred.
Right.
And the TV show, the one with Adam West, when they did that TV show, the comic, they were almost considering stopping Batman because people weren't buying Batman anymore.
Why every movie or whatever do they have to change the way the door opens to the Batcave? In one movie, it was in a fish
never
tank.
noticed that.
Then it was the piano, ding, ding, ding. You know, come on,
It's always
man.
gotta be something different.
It's got to be
can't be the same
consistent. You
thing.
can't have 10 different, you know.
But the one in the Dark Knight trilogy, Christopher Nolan's trilogy, is so cool.
Well, it changed in that, to be fair, because the Batcave in the second one's different from the Batcave.
All
in the
right,
first
so that
and the
will
third.
allow it for
So we'll
a
allow it
change
for
of
that
venue.
one. Change of venue.
Yeah. I have to tell you a funny Batman story. What was the one with Bane?
That's Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises. My wife, I was watching the movie. My wife comes downstairs to my man cave and she's like, "Are you just going to sit there and watch television?" And I had to answer like Bane, who always had the best answer. I said, "Of course. Things are going according to plan." She got pissed, my wife. But
My husband like drilled that voice.
The
into
voice
the
of
ground.
Bane?
I can't
Oh, yeah, he
stand
does it?
now.
He does.
Yeah, he did it a lot.
But
I was
when the
like,
world
"Please,
his
I will leave you."
answers were
When the
so...
world is ashes, you had my permission to die?
But he had the answer for everything. It's like, was getting caught part of your plan? Of course. Like, everything was planned. Imagine how much money Bane could have made if he was a legitimate person and not a criminal. He had everything planned out.
He was a badass.
I love that movie. So many people try to say that's the weakest of the trilogy.
No, I
and
think it's the strongest.
I think
one
it's
of the
such a
strongest.
good. I think it's such a good movie. It has aspects of it that aren't great.
All right.
And I know some people don't like the whole Joseph Gordon-Levitt name being Robin and stuff like that. That's not nearly as bad as the Martha thing in Batman
All right.
vs Superman.
That's terrible.
Oh, that was lame.
Both of them mothers.
Why'd you say that?
Oh, why did you say that?
That
man?
ruins it. And that whole movie just, it felt like it was written by people who didn't understand what Batman and Superman were.
Dude, but they would never fight. They're both DC
Written by
people.
people-
Well, no, they have fought before.
Yeah.
They fought in Dark Knight Returns, which is what they were going for.
The publisher
But
would never allow it.
No,
the
no,
way,
they-
no, they have fought.
Usually,
kidding,
when
I'm kidding.
superheroes meet for the first time, they fight.
But why?
Yeah.
We're all working together. This
Because
They
the
don't know
fans. There's a 3-part Hulk thing comic where they fight each other, and I'm pretty sure there's no winner.
Everything is fighting. It's like work together, form an alliance.
Well, they
They
have
do
to know
eventually.
they can trust them.
Yeah, but right away. Oh, you do this. Oh, okay. You take care of this bad guy. We'll work together. You know.
Well, in the CW DC shows, you know, they don't fight.
Bleh.
They become friends,
CW.
and they all work together to fight the Nazis in the crossover.
See, World War II could have been over like that if they just worked together in
Because
the beginning.
what they do is they introduce the whole multiverse thing, and the fact that there's a bunch of them from different Earths, and the fact that Supergirl's actually from a different Earth of Arrow and Flash.
Who?
And
Supergirl.
Supergirl's
Oh.
in this universe, and they have a Superman on Supergirl who I actually really like.
Yeah, I like him too.
Yeah, he does a really good job. He's like, I was like, I would actually like to see him. I like Henry Cavill as Superman also.
Yes.
I just think they don't give him much to do.
Right.
And I think he's a good actor. See Mission Impossible that just came out. He's very good in it.
Oh, he's in that?
Yeah.
6? I
Yeah,
haven't seen
And
it
that's
yet.
why they
He's
had
very
to
good in it.
CGI out his mustache.
Yep, Mustache Gate.
Mustache kid.
But don't you agree with me?
Mustache
You don't, it would be better if they all just worked together at the beginning?
Well, they do.
They
do in
Like
some
Wonder Wo-
respects.
I would work with Wonder Woman right away. Right?
I
Wonder
bet
Woman,
you
that you
would.
need help.
Oh my
I can
God.
polish her bracelets. I can do whatever she needs. She's fighting a crime all day. Come home, I'll take
Massage
care of
her
everything. I'll do the laundry. I'll get her outfit ready for the next day.
What laundry?
Whatever she
It'll
needs.
make you happy to hear that Wonder Woman 2 comes out next year. And it's Wonder Woman 1984 is the title, and it takes place in the 80s.
Interesting.
And Linda Carter is...
Linda Carter's supposed to have a cameo.
She
It's the
making a
same
cameo?
director.
Nice.
And Chris Pine's also supposed to still be in the movie.
How he's dead.
I don't.
A flashback. right.
Flashback, so maybe she sees visions of him, something along
Yeah,
those
that could
lines.
be
The one thing in comic books, which I don't like, we talked about Jason Todd died.
Yeah.
In the comics, they brought him back to life.
And they brought him
Right,
back as a
he's-
villain named the
He's
Red
the
Hood.
Red Hood. Yeah.
Do we have
and-
another clip? Because I don't want you to lose the clip if we're running out of time.
We're almost done. We have a picture right here of the TV show.
Yeah, let's show this. This is all the villains, or most of the most famous villains.
Yeah, and great actors, unbelievable.
Can I show the picture I sent, real quick?
Yeah. Can we go to the first photo that's up? The first photo.
So I had a show at the Gotham Comedy Club
here
in
it
New York
comes,
City.
okay.
So I did this.
Ah, that's cool.
So it was because I said if Gotham needs a comedian, it's like I did a thing like I also do Billy D. Williams. We received a letter from John Santo. If you need a comedian, call me. How do we call him? He gave us a signal, and that's the signal.
And that's your
So
bad
that's
signal.
a hacky
You know, there's
thing.
gonna
I
be a bunch
did.
of comics being like, "Hey, can I get on that show?"
Yeah.
Can I
Who
get
books that
spot?
room?
Who
Yeah.
books that Superman? or
We gotta
Wonder
I
get
love
spot.
that. I love that with comedians.
There's gonna be a lot of comedians show up to the
I
segment.
want to say one thing about the Joker, though. In The Killing Joke, it's established that he is a failed stand-up comedian.
Right.
Seriously?
Yes.
Yes.
He's a failed.
That is a
stand-up.
thing in the
That's
Killing
one
Joke.
of
Is he's a
his
failed.
That's the
possible
thing
origin
about
stories.
his possible
He's a
origin.
failed. Do you know how many jokers there can be out there now?
Oh, thousands.
No, but and the whole
I
thing
seen
is
him.
he went through he went through the chemical, which we all know. He went through the chemical, and that's why when in his stories, a lot of times when he does something,
Right.
he goes for the joke. He thinks it's funny when it's not funny. He thinks killing people and having them die
Right.
with a smile on their face is hilarious.
Because he can't get laughs at open mics. He's a frustrated comic.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's gonna take me. I was gonna do a comic joke thief Batman.
Yeah.
This is gonna take me in a whole new direction now.
There
He
you
hates
go.
bringer shows.
I'm glad he's bringing shows. Oh, I got so many ideas
And
now.
they have a Joker movie coming out next year with Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker.
Oh, I thought
And-
it was gonna be Leonardo DiCaprio.
No, Joaquin
Oh,
Phoenix.
God.
Leonardo
So
DiCaprio is going to
Really?
be Joaquin Phoenix. Robert De Niro is in talks to be a talk show host that drives his character crazy. So I'm not sure.
Because he says everything 3 times.
So it's going to be something where it could be a lot of fun.
You're talking.
Pack up, go home. Pack up, go home.
All right. Anyway, we ran out of time. I had a lot of fun.
This was
We
great.
should do a part
Yeah,
two.
this
is great.
Can we
We
do
should
part
do a
two?
part
We'll do a part 2. We'll schedule
And I'll
a part
do
2.
my homework
Yeah,
this
you'll
time.
do your freaking
Yeah.
homework. Sure. Yeah.
Take more notes.
All right. Thank you all for watching Benny TV, the
Thank you,
special
guys.
Batman episode. And don't go away. Laughter Saves Lives is next.
Tune in.
Laughter Saves Lives live.
Ah.
This was so much
All
fun.
right.